The first half of 2021 was quite the busy season. Not necessarily for my workouts like it should have been, but definitely for comments and messages from viewers of the video series. I actually had not intended on doing a third volume of reader mail so soon, but I've got a lot of good comments that I want to respond to, and so here we go. For Volume 3 of Reader Comments, I decided to record it at the gym, so I packed up my microphone, notes, camera, tripod. It's all here in the group fitness room of the Redmond Athletic Club. It's a somewhat echoey room because of all of the flat surfaces, but I think the microphone is close enough to my mouth that we're going to get some usable audio. If you're watching this, basically, I approved. Anyway, let's go ahead and check out what I think is a fun batch of comments from the past 3 or 4 months. Now, I'm going to generally proceed in numerical order through the episodes and read the comments as they appeared in that order, but I do want to start with one of the most recent ones, episode 43, Executing the Three Kings Part 1, because I love this comment. That is the episode that began with my spoof of the Masterclass commercials, and it also was the episode where I referenced the fact that Mark Prickett was the one to give me a formal training in the powerlifting exercises in 2017. I showed it to Mark, and one of Mark's comments here was, "My wife thought you were doing a British parody of me," which had me, sometimes you type LOL and you aren't really laughing. I did laugh out loud. Mark is a very knowledgeable person. And because of that, he's a very confident person. And he has a cockiness to him, but it's not raw arrogance. I don't like being around people who are just arrogant. He's a very fun personality, and he makes his cocky persona actually amusing. But yeah, he does know a lot. And it's not entirely a stretch to believe that maybe some of the things that my Masterclass character said might actually come out of his mouth one day, but that's actually a slight exaggeration. But anyway, so I thought that was hilarious. No, I wasn't thinking of Mark when I did it. I was just thinking of a spoof of the Masterclass trailers that you see online. Anyway, all right, episode 33, The Wooden Beast Maker. That was where I took you through Mark's home gym that he made entirely out of wood. And a YouTube viewer named Marcus Kija, who knows? His comment was, "Mark's face at 11:12." Let's go ahead and take a look at the face Mark was making at 11:12. Yep, that's a little bit of Mark's Masterclass persona coming through there. So anyway, that was another amusing moment. All right, episode 35, Keeping Up with Cooper. It was a pleasure to meet Torrance Cooper. You can watch that whole episode. But when Torrance saw it, he left this comment. "It was awesome to meet you, brother." Look at that. I'm white, and I get called brother. I feel like I'm part of the family now. "This was beautifully done. I appreciate you. Thank you for the footage and coming out." I considered it a pleasure and even a privilege to work out with someone who was just a week or two away from a competition. I've approached others before in the past, and they've always said, "I'm just so busy, just not going to be able to." So for Torrance to say yes and to say it with such enthusiasm, he was one of the most enthusiastic guests I've ever had. I thought I would have to try to talk him into it. I gave my kind of pitch the very first time. He said, "Great, let's do it." So after that, it was just a matter of figuring out when. So his comment on appreciating me and what I did, I consider that very special. So thank you, Torrance. All right, episodes 37 and 38 were a two-parter called The Starter Kit. And user GVuzz, who I've quoted some of his comments before, he's got a lot to say actually over the past half a year. But on those two particular episodes, let's start with, this is simple and nice advice. I really like the home workouts ideas because the idea of going to a gym for now is terrifying. I was actually thinking of buying some workout gear, when I'm not broke, and practicing some workouts and get used to it because I'm terrified of looking like an overweight idiot in the gym. To that, I will say I can understand. When I was 280 pounds and wanting to get in shape, one of the things that I stumbled over, one of the things that kept me from really diving in, was the notion that I would go to the gym and it would be full of the beautiful people you see in the brochures and on the TV commercials, and they would all know what they were doing, and they'd see this overweight guy, clueless, trying to get started, and they'd either be laughing inside or they'd actually laugh out loud. So I know the feeling. That held me back for a long time. So two things I have here. First of all, the idea that GVuzz would go for it that he would look at buying some home workout gear so he could at least get started. Hey, that's a great attitude. If you feel that a certain avenue to getting in shape, a certain way of doing things, is not open to you for some reason or another, including mentally or emotionally, find another way. So the idea that he would save up money to create a home gym, even a small one, that's good. But the other thing I would say is I would encourage anyone, including GVuzz, I would encourage anyone who thinks like that to, I don't even know how I want to phrase it, dive in, get over it. Get over it sounds a little brusque, but take that first plunge. Just say to yourself, I'm going to go to the gym and start working out. It's actually, at least in my experience, it's a very rare case that somebody at the gym will mock you in any discernible way. Most of the people here at the Redmond Athletic Club are average people. At night when I go, there do tend to be some of the 20-somethings who are rather fit, and they make me want to move to the other side of the gym and use some other equipment rather than stand near them and feel fat and old. But even those guys, they're actually very friendly, and we all get along. So my bigger encouragement, if you want to do the home gym, won't stop you, but my big encouragement is to just go to the gym. Walk inside that front door, get yourself a membership, just start the workouts, and put aside all feelings and fears of what everyone else is thinking. And I know that's easier to say than do, but that's my advice. And for anyone watching this who takes that advice, I am behind you and cheering you on. I think one time in my life, I have heard from someone who follows me online who said, at my gym there is this total jerk who made fun of me, and I feel awful now. They're out there. They exist. I think someday I want to actually do an episode all about haters and how to deal with them. I have a personal hater online. He actually follows me. He finds any new social media I'm on and picks on me. Oh, well. I'm over it. It took a few years, but I'm over it. I think that's all I have to say. I'm going to start going in circles. Go to a gym and just fight that fear until it doesn't exist anymore. Episode 41 was 3rd Year's a Charm. That was my first workout journal, my first look back at 2021 so far. And Danielle Zeppes, a woman I know from when I worked out at Fusion Fitness and got introduced to Bill Haynes. She and her husband were members there, regular attenders, maybe even employees. I'm not sure. I forget now. It's been so long. But she now lives in Florida. Anyway, but apparently she still watches. I admire your determination, Brian. You've come a long way since those early Fusion days, and you definitely have what it takes to reach your goals. Thanks for bringing us along on this journey. Given that Danielle has been watching since my first video uploads in 2011, And I have been all over the map. I have had highs and lows with regards to determination and effort and consistency. I have had months, even a couple of years, where it was those couple of years somewhere in 2014, 15 that caused me to break off the first YouTube series I was trying, because I had nothing to say to anyone except, well, I had another bad month. And the whole video series just kind of went. The fact that she's still watching and says that I'm doing great and is happy to still be brought along on this journey says a lot more about her, I think, and her determination. The fact that she still has high hopes for me. Thank you, Danielle. I have a comment at the very end that will kind of tie into that. But let's keep going for now. Jivas is back for episode 41. Respect for taking those sorts of shots at this stage. I think most people would rather footage after they already attain the muscles and weight loss. Yes, he's referring to the rather personal shots of my body fat, because I did discover in late 2020 and early 2021 that areas on me that used to be so filled out with fat were actually almost tight and stretching the skin. We're actually now a lot looser, and would it be irony? Ironically, now that there's less fat and it's looser, it actually jiggles more. So I'm looking forward to losing the rest of the fat and then tightening it up completely. But yeah, yeah. Well, I will say something that I've said before. It's really easy to do when I'm alone. When I film it alone and I'm sitting in my office alone, editing it alone, and then uploading it to the world, and I'm not looking anybody in the eye, that's actually pretty easy to do. Most people would rather footage after they already attain the muscles and weight loss. Yes, but if I waited for that, this video series would start when I'm probably about 50, which I didn't want to do. Making the video series, I've also said this before, making the videos is actually motivation for me. It takes what I love, film production, and ties it to what I need to do, which is pay attention to my health and fitness, so that my workouts and all of that repetition and monotony and just all of the stuff night after night that other people fall in love with. These people on Instagram say, oh, I love going to the gym. I don't have that love. I'm aware of the need. And so the filmmaking actually makes it more entertaining for me and gives me motivation to go. So I had to start when I was out of shape, or I wouldn't have had that motivation. The other thing it does, and a couple of people have actually thanked me for this, in other comments that I couldn't find for this episode, they've thanked me for showing them the whole journey, because a lot of guys, especially guys who started in their teens and 20s and got fit fast, start their video series, start their YouTube channels, they start their online life once they already look great. And so people don't see what goes into it. They see the workouts they're doing now, but they don't see where they came from necessarily. So for better or for worse, you get to see my whole story. And some of you may have thought that episode 41 was for the worse. Okay. Episode 42, but wait, there's more. That was the episode that I said at the very beginning, I hope this is the most boring episode you see. And I basically just described all the places you could find me online. And I said somewhere in there that if you sat all the way through this, congratulations, and you should get a trophy. My friend Mark Shatka commented, I watched it all the way through, Protein Shake. So now I'm a brother and a protein shake. I need to start adding these names to my list. Things that I have officially been called by other people who work out. And then Jivas, I better get a trophy or I'm unsubbing. Okay, Mark and Jivas, thank you for watching all the way through. I don't have the budget right now for a trophy, but Jivas said after episodes 43 and 44, Executing the Three Kings, I think I want Complete Morons as a ringtone. And so, Jivas, your prize for watching episode 42 all the way through is I will isolate the audio of me saying Complete Morons. I will turn it into an MP3 and I will email it to you, and you can put that on your phone so that whenever anyone calls you Anyone within hearing distance of your phone will hear complete morons. All right, which brings us to the last one. Here we go. This was a text message from James Brown. We were texting each other, and somehow we got on the conversation of the number of subscribers I have on my YouTube channel, and how I will probably never be the guy with 1 million subscribers, and how, in fact, after episode 41, I had lost a couple of subscribers. And I jokingly lamented that I was losing fame and popularity. He didn't at the time understand that it was a joke, so he came out with this advice, and it's actually very true. So even though he misunderstood that I was just being humorous, this is an important point. Got to keep visual gains. People watch for hope. If the gains are slower than their desire for hope, they will go to an artificial form of hope. In other words, I need to make more progress. You've been watching for 2.5 years, and in those 2.5 years, I've lost 15 to 20 pounds net. When you stop and consider that in 2012, I lost 40 pounds in 4 months, 5 months, half a year, I need to buckle down more for many reasons. One of them, my own health. I'm getting older. I can feel it. It's going to get harder and harder and harder to lose weight and develop the body I want. But second of all, if I actually do want people to follow along on this voyage on YouTube, I've got to give them a reason to keep watching. That is absolutely true. So if you're hoping for something to change in 3 months or 6 months, and 2.5 years later you can barely see the difference, who am I to blame you for saying, okay, never mind, and going to those other channels where these guys already look fantastic and they are muscle beasts, and that gives you the hope you're looking for. So I owe it to everyone who's subscribed and everyone who has ever cheered me on to work harder. And I'm admitting that right here, right now, in front of this camera. I'm recording this on July 6th. I have about 3 months to my birthday. There are places in there where I could set little goals and really push. We're just about to 24 full weeks to the end of the year. That's 2 12-week blocks of time. 12 weeks seems to be popular for workout goals. Yeah, I need to focus. I need to find ways to get on it. Not so that I can soak in at the end of the year your applause and your wow and your thumbs up and your likes, but so that I can deliver on the hope that I've been conveying, because I still hope it for my life. I still hope it for my own physique. And if you're watching, it's probably because you're hoping that too. And so if I don't follow through, and if this thing just stretches out for years and I just look pretty much the same for that whole time, I haven't just failed myself, I've failed all of you. So the good advice there from James. I want to actually thank him for not understanding that I was joking when I complained about losing viewers on YouTube, because that's a very important point. That's all I have for Volume 3 of Reader Feedback and Comments, but I am definitely looking forward to some episodes coming up. One of them is my first product review, where I get a mouthful of peanut butter. Then I've also got documenting April, May, and June. I had a very fun adventure in the early part of May, and I had some other things on my list that I was going to just taunt you with, but I guess we'll wrap it up because I didn't bring that list with me. I think I have the next 6, even 7 episodes all planned out as to what I want to show you. So stick around, and I hope to deliver on the hope that you've held out for my improved physique. See you next time on A Body in Progress.